Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video, our first one of 2025. I accidentally took a little bit of a hiatus last year, but I think I just needed a little bit of a break. If you don't know me, my name is Nola. You can find lots of planning and journaling content on my channel, and today we will be setting up my 2025 bullet journal. I tend to use this for a lot of my business stuff, but you can take a lot of the spreads that I do and they can be used for regular life or if you have a job too. So I hope you enjoy the spreads that I create. I think what I'll do is just have a bit of a chat about what's been going on for the past couple of months and do a little bit of a catch up. So grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee and relax, and we will get into it. So rewinding to say like October time last year maybe, the end of last year was super busy for me. The way that I kind of planned out things in the business and the projects that I was working on, a lot of them kind of combined all around the same time. And that made things super busy. I didn't intend for that to happen, but it just kind of worked out that way. So it is a good point for myself going forward and planning this year, and being a lot more intentional about realising when projects start and end and how long they'll take, so that I don't do the same thing. So what happened was I did a Kickstarter in kind of late summer, or in the middle of summertime, and then by the time so it was for a journal. So the journal that you see me using today, that's the journal that I got kickstarted. So I designed the cover and everything like that, and I got it kickstarted successfully, which is amazing. And then whenever the journal arrived, I was also in the middle of creating everything for the advent calendar that I put together. And then on top of that, the online eHearts market that I usually take part in was happening as well. So it all just kind of collated together in one few weeks. And then after all of that, I was attending my very first in-person market. And it wasn't just like a small craft fair. It was a really big, huge event. I took a bit of a risk and applied for it, and I got accepted. It was a high cost table fee, but thankfully it paid off, and I did really well. I managed to make, I think, more than double the table cost. So I was really happy, because my first kind of goal was that I would cover the table cost, and then after that it was covering the table cost plus the cost of getting there and fuel and all that kind of expenses and stuff of the day. And then beyond that was just any kind of profit. So I was really happy that we succeeded in that, and I will be feeling a lot more confident going forward with trying to go to some markets. Now, I know every market won't work, and that was a Christmas one, so I'm not sure how it would go kind of in the middle of the year, but it's given me the confidence to give things a try in terms of getting my products out there in person. I think the nice thing is it gives people the opportunity to see them and touch them and feel them. And, obviously I try to take as nice pictures as I can online, but it's just not quite the same as being able to see them in person. So it was a really lovely event, and being able to see people's reaction in person too was something that I hadn't even considered. And it was just really sweet and heartwarming. And yeah, I left the event feeling very good. So that was a big success. But yeah, because of all of those things, I ended up being so busy, and I just didn't get the time to do the content that I normally do on my YouTube. And I was quite disappointed that I didn't get the chance to, because I love to have my videos out quite early in December, so that if anybody needs any inspiration for the new year and that kind of thing, then I can get it out for people to see. I tend to do a bullet journal setup and a reading journal setup, but it just didn't happen, and I had to just kind of come to terms with the fact that was just what was going to happen. I needed the rest, and I couldn't push myself too hard. I have a part-time job, I have a kid, I have other life stuff in the middle of it all, as well as running this business. So there's only so much one person can do, and I think you just take this as a little reminder that it's okay for you to not get everything done that you had hoped to in your head. Because I think sometimes we
we tend to overestimate the time and energy that we have. Not because we're like naive, but I think because we're so passionate about getting things done for our businesses, or if there's a hobby you really enjoy, you know what I mean. I think sometimes our brain just kind of goes, oh yeah, I'll totally be able to do that, but then whenever you realize just how tired you are, it can be difficult. So yeah, I just kind of accepted that, and decided not to rush things. The eHearts market, the online market, was really good too. We always have lots of fun on there, getting on lives and joining everybody else. It's like a really lovely community to be a part of. If you don't know about it, it is Emily Harvey Arts Patreon community. So it's a lot of small businesses, and we all kind of help each other out, and we have Zoom calls and that kind of thing. I will link it below for you. So if you're in that kind of a need for a small business community, I highly recommend it. So that was a really lovely experience. Also packing up my advent calendars. It was hectic. I definitely need to plan it better if I'm going to do it again this year. I feel like I do want to do it again. I just need to be a lot more prepared in advance for getting this stuff done, because it was a majority sticker based advent calendar, and I make all my stickers myself at home. And so that took a lot of time. I kind of underestimated just how many stickers and sticker sheets there were per advent. And then, obviously I get the orders in, which I'm very happy for, but then I kind of realised just how many I needed to print and cut, and obviously I can't make my machine go faster. So that was a little bit of a slow process. So it's got me kind of thinking, maybe this year if I do it again, I might get some of the stickers manufactured. And then just kind of split between whether I do like sticker sheets outsourced and like die cut type stickers in-house. I'm not really sure, but I think I need to rethink that process a little bit, just to make it a little bit smoother for me, because that took a long time to get all those packaged together, because I was not only making every single item in it myself, I was making the packaging for it myself, and having to get it all packaged up. I did like a kind of ephemera style package where it was in either an envelope or wrapped in like tissue or something, but I decorated it a little bit with ephemera. So a very labour intensive process, rewarding because I really loved how it turned out, and everybody said they really loved them. I really wanted it so that whatever the packaging was, you could use it in your journal too, so that it wasn't going to go to waste, because there was obviously going to be like 25 envelopes. Yeah, so I wanted to do it in a way that meant that people could reuse it if they wanted to. Excuse me if my voice sounds a little bit croaky. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I might sound a little bit hoarse. Anyway, so yeah, that was the end of the year. It was very busy, very hectic, but I got done what I got done, and I'm really proud of all of those things, and getting all of those done and completed, and being open to trying all those new things, and getting the advent done, because it's something I've been talking about for like 2 years maybe. And even the journals, that was a dream come true to be able to make that product. So yeah, super grateful, ending the year on a high and being able to spend time then with family. So I just took the opportunity to hang out with family and just rest. We actually ended up getting a bit sick over the holidays, all three of us, bedbound type sick with the flu, and it was unfortunate because we normally do a little kind of mini gathering for our friends for Christmas, and we had to cancel it, so that was disappointing, but we needed the rest. We didn't want to get anyone else sick, so we just cancelled and rested up, and then I kept working through with my part-time job, and then got a couple of days to spend with family, which was really lovely, and then back to work, and then the new year kind of trickled in, and I feel like I've turned a little bit of a corner with regards to how I feel in the beginning of the new year, because I think with all of the different kind of the messaging, I guess, that we get when it comes to a new year, there can be a pressure to feel like you need to hit the ground running in January. And it's fine if you already feel like you can if that's something that energizes you and you feel really ready to go. Because there has been years for myself, where I have started the new year and felt like it was a really good fresh start and I was able to get straight into doing things. But this year I just didn't feel that, and I had to really work on my mindset to not feel pressured to join the kind of race of getting things done, because my mind just wasn't there. And that's okay too. I think we need to remind ourselves that really, for us here in the UK, we're still in winter, and winter is typically a time of rest. You might find that naturally, the way that your mind and body works, you might find it that you naturally become more kind of awake and ready to get things done in springtime, which makes sense in terms of the seasons. So if you are one of those people, then try not to be too hard on yourself. I know it can be really difficult. It's easier said than done. But it's something I've been working on for the past year in terms of mindset anyway, is not comparing my own life to others and trying to be realistic with my own expectations, because we all live different lives, we all have different responsibilities and different things going on. So even if it looks like you have a similar life to somebody else, like say for example me, I have a part-time job and my partner and I have one child. He goes to school for a small amount of the day. My partner also works, and we have the business. And so if I look to somebody else who seems to have a similar kind of life structure, I guess, it would be easy for me to compare myself to them, to think, oh, but they seem to get so much more done in their business, or they're always on the ball with their social media content, or they always seem to really have their life together, where their house is totally organised and they do lots of activities with their kids all the time. And it might make me think that I should be able to do all of that. But realistically, we only see a small snippet of people's lives online. And for all I know, there could be a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not seeing. And even if there isn't, we all have different capacities, So I think working on that mindset has really helped me get into this new year with a lot smoother of a I don't know what word I'm looking for. But basically, I just feel like I haven't felt the pressure quite as much. So what I have done is just kind of checked in with myself, asked myself the questions of like, what do you feel ready for today? What kind of energy levels do you have? What are priorities, and not overloading my to-do lists, making sure I spend time doing things for myself and with my family, and working that in around, my job, and taking times to do things in the business that I felt ready to do. I did have an event on the 11th, and that was a first time event for Northern Ireland. Me and Ian from the Paper Sparrow, we got together and we arranged this big event in Belfast, and it was the very first all-day journaling event in Belfast. So that was a really big thing that we were planning as well. So I had a lot going on with that, and with the run up to that, I knew there were going to be things that I needed to do. And so in my head I thought, okay, for the business, my focus really is this event. Nothing else really takes major priority. I have another 2 events booked in the tea bar. It's in Infuse tea bar in Coleraine. This is a place that I go to regularly to do monthly journaling workshops. So I knew those 2 kind of things were in the top of my mind. So the priority of getting YouTube videos done, or doing shop updates, or new products, or any of that sort of stuff, it just wasn't priority for me. Even planning for the year, I didn't want to be sitting down and doing tons and tons of planning when I had all these other things going on. So it was just a matter of me kind of allowing myself to prioritize things. So I was able to take, a few days here and there to get things ready for the big PaperMoonCon journaling event, the all-day one with Ian, and get those things done. And slowly letting myself build up the kind of back to work situation with my business. really helped me get into the flow of it and not feel forced and feel a lot more aligned with what I want to do this year. So I managed to get all of the stuff done for PaperMoonCon, and I'm in between able to advertise for my in-person journaling workshops at Infuse in Coleraine. I will have a link down below to those workshops if you're in the north coast of Northern Ireland. Then you can come along to those if you like. They usually last around 2 hours. I typically do a bit of a theme, but I'm thinking of doing some more freestyling, journaling, club style stuff soon too. But yeah, I'll link those below. We do also have plans to do another PaperMoonCon event, and I will link the mailing list for that below and the Instagram page so that you can follow along and make sure that you don't miss out in case you're interested in coming to the next one. So those were the kind of things that I prioritized, and I made sure to just write out the kind of top things that I needed to do and do them in order of importance, basically. And then once I got that done and the event was done, I kind of felt, okay, well, that's those things. And in between all of that, I had little moments and pockets of time here and there where I kind of thought about the year and processed some thoughts and thought about what kind of projects I wanted to do. And I actually ended up getting together with my biz bestie, my best friend Sandra from Kamuanya Designs. We talk all the time, like every day. But we tend to jump on video calls every once in a while to do like a little back and forth with planning or kind of working out content if we're kind of struggling with something. So I highly recommend finding somebody that you can do that with if you don't already. It's a really nice way to have like a soundboard for each other's ideas whenever you're feeling a little stuck on something. So we did that, and I was able to kind of map out. I did a big page where I sectioned out for 12 months of the year, and then I was able to kind of think of the top projects that I want to work on. So for me this year, the projects will be Kickstarter, an Advent, the eHearts markets that happen twice a year, kind of populating things throughout the year that I want to do, and making sure that timing wise they don't all kind of clash together in the one time like they did last year. And then seeing how they fit amongst everything else that I already do. Obviously the PaperMoonCon event, we are maybe hoping for it to be at the end of this year in October time, but that's not 100% confirmed yet. But yeah, just kind of mapping out everything in my year and making sure that it all fit in and it wasn't too much, because I have to remember I do still have work and like my day job work, family stuff, house stuff. I have all of that on top of the small business, and I also have my Patreon. We do weekly online journal clubs, so if you're not local and you can't make it to the in-person ones, I do have a Patreon where it's basically just a journal club. We do it every single week, but I also add some behind the scenes and podcast, and every quarter I will put up some printable stuff as well. So yeah, come along to that if that's something you're interested in. I'll pop the link below. So yeah, that's kind of how I've kind of slowly dipped my toe back into the small business world so that I wasn't too pressured. I mean, I was still continuing to do stuff here and there, but I wasn't, because I was still advertising the PaperMoonCon event, and I can't not market that. So I was still doing work, but it wasn't pressured. I wasn't trying to cram tons and tons of stuff just because it was a new year. So I hope if you're listening to this and you've had a slower start to the new year too, that you don't feel so bad about it whenever you maybe are comparing yourself to other people who have dove straight into the new year with lots of plans and lots of work and stuff. So just remind yourself that it is okay to go slower, take things at your own pace, because if you don't listen to your own mind and body, it becomes way too easy to just completely burn out and feel uninspired, and then you're just doing yourself a disservice then, because you end up unintentionally making it harder for yourself. So I hope you take this as your sign that it is okay to go slow. even if it's not the new year, any time of the year, whatever you need, it's okay to take a bit of a breath and slow down a little bit. So in terms of what I'm working on now, now that the big event is done, and we're almost sold out of our tickets for the first Infuse one. We do have 3 tickets left for that, and then we have tickets left for the Valentine's one. That's happening on the 14th. It is a love-based journaling workshop, but not really just for couples. It's more of like an overarching love for yourself, your family, your friends, that kind of thing. So we've still got tickets left for that one, but other work and stuff for the business, I will be working on a shop update. I want to add in everything from the advent calendar, all the stickers at least. There were obviously exclusives in the advent calendar that aren't coming to the shop, but I want to add in all the stuff from the advent. And then there's a few things from my Patreon last year, because last year I did monthly digital and physical journaling kits. I closed those off and stopped doing those at the end of November, but there's a few that haven't made it to the shop yet, so I will probably do that, but that might not be in the first shop update. Excuse me. So keep an eye out for a couple of shop updates throughout the year, but there will hopefully be one at the end of January, and that will be for all the advent stuff. So that was like a cozy, warm, coquette theme. I called it Blush and Bloom. So if you like the sound of that, then keep an eye on my socials, sign up to my newsletter and stuff, and that can pop into your inbox whenever that's live. In terms of YouTube, there's a whole lot that I really want to do. I've been wanting to do this for months and months, and I feel like I've said this in other videos. I want to change up the content slightly, and do more kind of vlog style content. And I feel like I've put a personal block in front of myself for some reason with this. It's something that I want to do, but I'm clearly finding it a struggle to step forward for doing it, because I feel like I'll not get it right, or I'll not get it how I want it to look. And I need to push past that blockage, because I'm never going to be able to get it right unless I try, even if the first few aren't exactly how I want them to look. That's just part of the process. So I need to work on my mindset on that, and hopefully you will start to see some new content from me. So it'll be more than just the top-down content that you see with me planning and journaling. It'll be more vlog style, hopefully, and taking you through kind of my day, maybe some snippets of work stuff for the business, maybe some snippets of reading or hobbies, or still more journaling and planning type content, but a little bit more of a casual and chatty kind of format. So I would love to know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I think I'm just going to wrap up this video now. I've been chatting for a while, and I think the video is almost done. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Keep an eye out for my reading journal setup in the next little while. And let me know if you have any suggestions for content that you'd like to see throughout the year. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Stay cozy, and I will see you in the next one.